Whoever you are, I heard that it is a privilege to know you. It is an honor to love you. And for a lot of you, I'm hearing that the world deserves to know your name. So for some of you, maybe you are reaching for that public recognition, that fame, that success in a public way. For others of you, this just feels like being seen truly for who you are, being truly seen by your community, by your close relationships, perhaps a partner for some of you as well in your work environment, like truly recognized for who you are, just your essence, the way that you light up a room when you walk into it. And it's so funny because I was getting already teary-eyed before I even started recording, tapping into this energy, but I felt called to grab my inner child deck, and I noticed that my shirt matches, so synchronicity there. And then on the bottom it literally says, you deserve to be seen, let yourself be known. And I love this image too of like this transition from spring to winter. I feel like a lot of you are in this transition of maybe a really dark, cold, difficult time, and what's awaiting you is this beautiful colorful rainbow, blossoming flowers, just a time where you really get to be seen again for who you are at your core and your essence, and being rewarded and recognized for that as well in this next chapter. But let's just see what else you need to know over here. It says, a time to remember, look back on your childhood. Okay, so a call here to really connect with your inner child. And then I felt called to look at the bottom. Speak to yourself with kindness with the number 33. I've seen threes a lot lately, so that could be significant for you as well. Become aware of how you speak to yourself. And the number 33 can really represent this level of mastery. Okay, mastery in maybe a spiritual path and the way that you guide others and the way that you guide yourself as well. So maybe you've been mastering over the way you speak to yourself. And this is just a reminder to speak to yourself with kindness. Things may not be perfect right now. You might be having struggles, but I feel like there is a call here of recognizing how much growth you've endured, how protected you are, and how protective of yourself you've become. I really feel this call too with like this inner child energy, that you've become a person that your inner child can look up to, that your inner child can feel safe with, especially, is really coming through here. So if you've come from a tumultuous, upbringing or environment when you were younger, I feel like this message is really here to let you know that, again, it's a privilege to know you. And the younger version of you is looking up to you with such awe and admiration at who they themselves became. Okay, ooh, try not to cry. All right, let's see what's coming out. Okay, so we have 6 of Pentacles, 3 of Pentacles. Oh, yeah, this energy is really, really sweet. Okay, 8 of Wands. So things are shifting quickly for you. I feel like some of you are about to receive some form of communication that allows you to feel finally reciprocated in your environment, in your situation, whether this is a job offer. Okay, there is something about working together with another person or people or a group, coming into, again, community, collaboration, feeling like it's reciprocal though, and that it's also divinely guided by your spirit guides or spirit team. Like they're watching over and blessing this union of collaboration again. It really feels related to your work. So whether this is a project you're pouring yourself into, again, a job opportunity, maybe even like, I'm even hearing like volunteer opportunity as well, just has something to do with community and being surrounded by people who respect you, who value you, who give you what you're giving them back in some energetic way. Okay. So maybe it's like giving them, again, that praise for recognizing what it is that you do, or just feeling like your efforts are being rightfully paid. There could be, increases in your financial situation as well. If you've felt like in the past you've worked in environments where you were not being fairly accommodated for the work that you were doing. Okay, but there is something so fresh starting in the way that you're viewing your perspective and situation over your life, stepping into this chapter of like getting closer to this land of milk and honey, this sweetness that is awaiting you in this chapter. And right now, again, there's a call here of like looking back at your childhood, giving it love. I saw this video yesterday I feel called to share, and I haven't fully done this practice yet, but I feel like this could be significant for somebody here where, if the idea is that time doesn't really exist outside of our 3D reality, right? So there's like when manifestation is all about living in the end and, being the version of yourself that already has all of those things, but the same can be done when looking at the past. So there's something here about maybe revisiting a past version of yourself as who you are today, providing them guidance, providing them comfort. And then when you look back at that time, because the timelines can be blurred, it's like maybe when you're like, I'm thinking of an example right now where like I've been in really deep spirals of depression or going through loss or going through something really difficult. And it's like, there's always like this guiding light, this small voice that is telling you things are going to get better, things are going to shift and change. And the idea that maybe it's you, like from your timeline, talking to a past version of yourself, giving you the necessary encouragement or push to continue through that challenge. I hope that makes sense, okay? So that could be really significant for somebody here, okay? But let's just get more cards for you. Okay, what else can the person watching know that we're here? Oop. Okay. Yeah, I'm picking up that you've maybe been struggling with, and we have 10 of Wands on the bottom. King of Swords, Seven of Pentacles, Five of Pentacles, and then the Queen of Cups. I think a lot of you have been faced with a challenge recently of healing your wounds around authority and money. Because if you're trying to get to this place of public recognition or recognition in your work, making more money, feeling abundant in your earthly realms, there are usually wounds coming up to the surface. Again, this could stem from childhood, of like looking at the way you were talked to as a child, how you were treated. Those things carry over. So again, maybe there's a fear of like being in a leadership position because you've seen leaders misuse their power. This could be trauma from your childhood, yes, but even just in society. I mean, look at who we have running the countries and things like that for a lot of places. But yeah, there's like this fear of stepping into a leadership position because you've seen people who have misused that power. And so it's scary for you to step into that power, but you're being reminded that you are this Queen of Cups energy. You're emotional, you're intuitive. You will not fall into the same patterns of the people that you are scared of becoming. The fact that you're scared of becoming them already proves that you are not like them, because those people are not thinking that they don't want to be that way, right? They just are that way, and they don't have any mind to how that impacts other people. But you're ending a cycle of burden, okay? Burdens of, again, maybe even just these perceptions that you have around being successful, having a lot of money. Maybe it scares you to think of what it will be like without the lack. As much as you want it, as much as you want that change, it's going to change everything as well. And so maybe that is subconsciously or consciously making you feel fearful about what's coming, because it's like leaving behind a whole chapter of your life, leaving behind a major part of your identity as well. If you grew up thinking, oh, I'm always going to be broke, or why am I always broke, or I never have enough money, that identity is dying as you're transitioning out of it. And so even if, again, you want that money, you want that success, you want all of these things, there could be something holding you back from achieving it because you have this deeply rooted subconscious fear. So I think that's why you're being guided here to look back at your childhood, realize maybe where certain patterns are showing up for you in life, what triggers certain behaviors or reactions that you would experience as a child. Like, I literally had a moment last week where I felt like my inner teenager coming out. Okay, it was very fearful, it was very angry, it was very shutting down, those types of things. And I had to really look at that as to recognize what was triggering me to respond in that way, but also what still needed to be healed, because there is a cry for help or healing to that person. So again, maybe that practice of revisiting a traumatized or past version of yourself with love, with compassion and guidance could be really significant for you at this time, okay? We're running out of time, but okay, yeah. Knight of Pentacles and Ace of Wands. I feel like you're stepping into a new chapter. It's been a little bit long, slow and steady wins the race, okay? But you have a beautiful new beginning that's going to fill you with passion, inspiration, creativity, and it's all because of who you are. Again, it's a privilege to know you. It's a privilege to love you. It's an honor to love you, and you deserve to be seen in whatever way that resonates for you.